Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with the final update to the Ocean's 11 Ford Falcon Futura. And we're going to start off with the interior. As per the last video, that was where I kind of left off. And I was going to do a whole separate video on it, but I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to do it. So instead, just kind of winged it until I got it right. And taking a look at it, I did use the Ranchero front seat and steering wheel, and fit in pretty good. Need a little trimming on the sides of the bench seat, otherwise no problem. I filled in the back there with just some styrene. And for the back seat though, that was where I was getting myself stuck. And I finally decided the best way to do it is I carved out the center of the seat entirely. See, got some round stock in there to create the pleats, and some plate stock in there just to hold everything together. And that ended up being how I made the bulk of the pattern. Then I went over the top of it with some metal tape just to kind of smooth it and make it look a little closer to what the front seat looked like. And overall, I think it turned out pretty decent. Looking at the dashboard, again, that's the Ranchero steering wheel, had the right shift lever on it. Just painted the firewall and added some carpeting in there just to finish things off. And, also, got the body all wrapped up. Finished polishing it like I was talking about, and then did all the trim with a combination of bare metal foil and some chrome paint. That is the Ranchero windshield, and the vent windows are some just flat clear stock. Coming around to the back, I cleaned up the taillight bezels with some more bare metal foil and paint. But overall, I think it's looking pretty good. So now it's time to put it all back together. Let's start by putting the interior . There we go. Put that over those tabs. And taking the convertible top boot and snap it in from the top side to hold everything together. A little stubborn here. There we go. So now with that done, really only one piece left, and that's the grill. Alright, so we've got the promo grill here, and it's definitely seen some better days. I don't actually mind the patina. I think that kind of fits the car, but I do not like the cast-in headlights. So first thing we're going to do is get those drilled out. That's a bit better. Well, all I did was carve it out with the Dremel tool, then go and clean up the holes with an X-Acto knife. That left even more red plastic, so to fix that, I'm going to use a metallic silver Sharpie. I'm using this because I don't actually want a bright chrome in this area. On the original cars, they were kind of a matte silver color, so that's really what I want to go for here. And just kind of go around the headlight bezel. Clean up all that visible red plastic. Get the other side. And now that's already looking better. Go through and clean up the edges now. All the places where the plating wore off over the years. Clean on the sides, the top. Both sides here. That's the headlight bezels looking a lot better. Now it's time to tackle the grill. Before that, I was originally just going to do a wash over it, and then I realized that what are supposed to be holes are actually raised areas, so that method was not going to work for me. And I did consider cutting it out and putting in a proper perforated area, but I didn't want to spend that much time on it. This was supposed to be a quick and fun project, so instead, I'm just going to fake it. So instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a black Sharpie marker And I'm just going to hit the tops of all of these raised areas. Just go right across. Doing this is giving me a nice sharp edge, or at least as sharp as the old plastic will allow. And once it's all done, it should create the illusion of slotted areas. It's looking pretty good. I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me do the entire thing though, because that's going to take way too long. So instead, magic of editing. Also did the rest of the grill surround with the silver Sharpie. So now it's time to take care of some of that extreme wear on the bumper. It's actually pretty straight. I don't think I have to do any repair work, just rechrome it. So for that, it's time to break out the bare metal foil. I really just need to do the face of it. So I'm going to line it up here to get my depth. Line up a ruler with the bottom of the bumper. So it kind of lets me know how much I need. Light touch across. Brand new X-Acto blade. And for my width, looks like right about here ought to do it. So that should give me plenty of foil to do the whole bumper. Peel up the corner there. And this does have a tendency to curl as you peel it off the backer, so what I'm going to do is kind of bend it the other way as I'm lifting it. Still a little bit of curl, but it's a lot more manageable. Alright, now I'm going to take my piece of foil, I'm going to line it up just above the worst of the damage, and just tack it in a couple of places so it doesn't fall off. Hold it down, stretch it across, and do a light burnishing with my finger just to make sure that it's all stuck in place. It's looking a little wrinkly, but that's okay. We're going to take care of that right now. And to it, I'm going to use a paper towel and a toothpick that I've rounded the head off of. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my toothpick and use that to press down all of the edges. Work out all the wrinkles. I've got a little excess foil at this end. Let's cut that off quick. He said. Alright. There we go. Alright, now it's off. So back to pushing this down. Go around all of the bolt heads here into the license plate area. And across that top edge where it rolls over the top of the bumper a little bit. By lining it up with that character line, any light reflection is going to hide the edge of the bare metal foil. Get around parking lights here. don't really think about how complicated these bumpers are until you're doing something like this, and you see all of the little bits and pieces that they've included. Make sure I get the bottom edge here. Take my paper towel, just kind of go across the top of it. That'll help push it down and also give it a little bit of a buff at the same time. And there we go. Fully repaired bumper now. So last thing is the lights, and I'm going to be using those out of the Ranchero as well, with some paint for the rest of it. And done. Aside from the headlight lenses, I also did the parking lights with little X26 Tamiya paint, and I backed them with some chrome vinyl so that there's a little bit of reflection there. And now it's time to get this installed. So spread the front just a little bit. That pops right in. Fits over those two studs on the bottom. And get the chassis here. I want to be careful of that repair I made to the back rocker, so I'm feeding it in kind of at a weird angle first. Alright, once that's lined up, get my screwdriver, pop it over the sides, get that seated, and we are on the home stretch. Got the rear bumper here, also out of the Ranchero. My own custom license plate to match the movie car. That lines up with the holes in the body. Looks good there. So I just need to put a little bit of glue on the back side of it. And this will pretty much wrap it up. So once this is in place, I'll give it some time to set up, and we'll take a final tour of the finished vehicle. And that'll wrap it up. The Ocean's 11 63 Ford Falcon Futura. It's not a contest winner by any stretch, but it's exactly what I had wanted here. After that Toy Story truck, wanted to have something that was pretty quick, pretty simple, didn't have a whole lot of detail to it, and yeah, it was a fun build. Nice to be able to give broken old promo a little extra life as well, and overall, pretty happy with how it turned out. Take a look at the underside here. You can see I've even kept the original screws in place, so if I want to revisit it later on, I certainly can. For now, I'm going to call this one done. And in other news, September 30th to October 3rd is going to be Toy Fair 2023. So I'm going to be doing some coverage of that, talking to model manufacturers, die-cast companies, anything that seems appropriate for the hobby. So watch for some videos over the next few days from that show. And then next week, I'm going to be starting my Halloween 2023 build, so you can check back then. And thanks for watching.